What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Okay, so I got a little update to give you guys because, I've been trying to find out what's going on with age of disclosure. And there's a lot of people that are feeling a little bit frustrated because so much is happening in Congress and conferences, and a lot of people is coming forward. And the one film that can actually reach the masses still doesn't have a release date or streaming or a theatrical release. And we're waiting for it. People need to see that film. It's already made. I've spoken to a couple of people who were involved in the movie. Some of them appear in the movie. You guys know Jeff Nicchitelli is one of my guests on the show, and none of them really know what's going on. Only Dan Farah knows what's going on. But I was approached by one of my colleagues, and he's a friend of the show too. He's an award-winning journalist and investigator, and he's done films and he's done documentaries, and he's been asking around because he's also interested in the topic. And this is what I got from this person. This person is in constant contact with the people that are in the know of the distribution of films. And this one is one that he was very interested in asking about. So he did. So what he told me is that he wanted to let me know that there have been no announcements from any of the major platforms yet or distributors, because what the producers did was to seek out a big festival premiere in order to help secure the distribution partner and possibly start a bidding war for it. The way streamers are all fighting for good original content, this friend of mine has heard that it's still in that stage. It may be another while. If it ever comes up, he told me that I could share this info, and I thought it was really worth sharing with you guys. So there's another part. I told this person that I heard Dan Farah was looking for a theatrical release. That is true. He is. So this guy told me he may be holding out for a theatrical release, but no theatrical distributors feel they want to spend tens of millions just to grant him that desire, meaning Dan Farah. It's likely to get a very limited 1 to 2 week theatrical release, but it won't be full blown. It's too expensive. Streamers, on the other hand, will make a lot of money releasing this as is. And this person is speaking to one of these distributing gurus. And this alleged guru or this distributing expert said there is no case study for a theatrical documentary release about UFOs. Simple as that. He believes that Amazon may get him in theaters for 1 or 2 weeks, but it won't help their profit model either way. It only eats into profits to do so, and they usually only do that with their own award winning type films so they can qualify for the Oscars and other awards. Of course, if Dan Farah is looking for an award competitor, which he already took the first step, he took the film to South by Southwest, that's a festival, and it needs to go to theatrical release regardless of how much time so it can get nominated for awards. And the way Dan Farr has been hyping the movie, he was on Collider talking about it. It kind of seems like he thinks this film has the potential to, have an impact of one of these documentaries that get an award. If it's the impact that he wants, it can change the world. But I don't know how jaded the people are with government officials telling them stuff. I know I am pretty jaded with the ones in my country. I don't believe them a thing. And I get that people in America might be also like that. They don't believe what politicians tell them at all. So this makes it even more difficult for awards or award nominations. But I do have like the sense that Dan Farah does still want a theatrical release. So if he wants that, I guess he's going to have to go to Jeff Bezos for it. And if you guys remember, there's a connection Jeff Bezos has with UFOs through, I believe it was his grandfather who was involved in some of these crash retrievals and some of these programs, allegedly. There's documentation that kind of points towards that way. So if this is true, that means Jeff Bezos probably knows what's going on with UFOs. And I don't know if he would be game to release something like this that is like so on the nose, because you guys saw how Eric Davis appeared recently saying all the stuff he did. The Hal Puthoff interview with Joe Rogan. Jacques Vallée was twice over the last 2 weeks on shows. He was with Knapp. He was in News Nation with Ross Coulthart on Reality Check. And then there's the Harold Malmgren interview and the Matthew Brown interview. So there's a lot of people coming forward who were in the government or are in the government right now. And those are the ones that are like supposed to be the most credible. I would think that out of all of those, Dr. Eric Davis is a brilliant scientist. Dr. Hal Puthoff is a brilliant scientist. I know that Jay Stratton is coming out with a book, and he's the one who said this. So I'm going to show you guys. This is the trailer, but we got to watch it.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP.
It's Dr. Puthoff. The other one was Jim Semivan, who had a general level clearance and rank at the CIA. We saw Dr. Eric Davis.
P program.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the
James Clapper. That's pretty wild. He was a director of national intelligence. If anybody knows about this stuff or has seen something, that's one person who has definitely either seen or
fourth director of national intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
The one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
Okay, this statement from Lou, this is something that was just talked about by Ana Brady Estevez on the recent panel of experts. She said that they've been going to like conventions where they talk about new technology, new edge technology. And she told a really fun story of the Chinese like talking about these things out in the open just a year ago, trying to get people to talk to them about it because they're already working on this stuff. So this is what I think might be happening. Either something was already cracked, and this is like a point of major debate with the people that I'm talking to from different areas, right? Because there's a part of the people that believe that back in the 60s, we did crack something. Either it was anti-gravity on our own, or we reverse engineered some kind of craft successfully. By we mean, I mean humans. And I mean the US, because they were the ones who presumably had the most crash retrievals. And according to different reports, there has been a crash retrieval program for decades now, managed by the CIA and parts of other agencies. So there's these two versions. One that we either cracked it long ago, or that something recently was cracked from either reverse engineering or some kind of new invention from humans. I don't know what is going on with that exactly, but there's a lot of documentation, paper trail, anecdotes, all of these officials coming forward. And they are telling you right now that there is an arms race that is very new, that maybe even bigger than the atomic arms race back in the 40s. I don't know if that's the case, but I already had the Magenta crash researchers here, and it seems to connect all the way to that time. And it really takes my breath away because if it's all connected and all started back then, we're in for like a day of reckoning for a lot of people, you know.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
And he said beings. He didn't say non-human bodies. He said beings, implying that he saw them alive.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
What else you want to know?
Yeah, so I guess all of the vitriol and infighting that is going on, I guess it divides into a number of different options, right? Because you got those that believe that free energy could be achieved or they already have it and it's secret. Then there's the crowd that thinks that we're in contact with ETs. Both could be true. I'm not saying they couldn't. You got the religious group that believes these are demons or angels. Could also be true. I don't know. And now you have stuff like Skywatcher, which are like private efforts to try and attract these things without fully knowing what they are, really. That's the reality. So there's, as you can see, there's a lot happening. And I completely understand why Dan Farah would want to potentially turn this into a historic documentary on all accounts. But Dan, I'm telling you, like, honestly, on behalf of pretty much everybody who wants to see this movie, please don't take longer to release it, because we're all waiting for it and we all want to see what's going on there and who says what, you know, and we want to get to talk to the people get to know them, who are like part of the movie. And I get it. I mean, there's a bidding war. This is pretty much one of the most attractive films for streaming services. These are the ones that make the most amount of money, especially coming from where it comes from, because you got Dan Farah, who has worked with Steven Spielberg on Ready Player One. You got a lot of government officials, some of them even at the cabinet right now, saying these things, giving it more legitimacy. So I guess hopefully it's time to get like a summer release. That'd be really cool. We're not that far along. I hope that these bidding wars can reach a conclusion soon. But that's the update that I got for you guys. It's an interesting one, I think, but I hope this also serves so people can push this video forward, and the ones who are like trying to get it distributed understand that we want to see the movie already. So please reach an agreement. We want to see it. Let me know what you think about this little update about Age of Disclosure. Why do you think it's probably not going to be released in theaters? Do you think that's a fair reason, or do you think it's unfair and it should be? And what do you think about the overall message that this movie apparently is going to try to relay, which is that there's an arms race between countries over this technology? And based on what we've seen recently from scientists who are trying to talk about this more openly, that kind of seems to be the case, doesn't it? Or maybe not. Maybe it's just a ruse. Hopefully not. But yeah, hopefully that will bring us a little bit closer to what the phenomenon is. Let me know in the comments what you think overall. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when new video drops. If you want to support the channel in any other way, I'm going to leave a few links in the description. You can also become a member. You can also support us on KGRA. Thank you for your help, as always. That's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember to stay curious. Remember to stay inquisitive. Bye-bye.